this lecture. This is Gopal Singh, Professor Education, and this day is, as usual, this is going to be very important because in the first lecture we shall talk about some research designs, and in the second lecture we shall talk about sampling and sampling distribution and the different types of sampling, and these two are going to be very important from point of view. So I mean to say, basically today there shall be two lectures, and these are not relevant for point paper 1 only but paper 2 as well. Okay, in whatever the streams you belong to, okay, whether this is education, economics, commerce, home science, management, or anything. So there shall be two lectures, and I'm not going to spare you. So as usual, I just need a quick confirmation from you all if everything is going well from my side. Is my voice is perfectly coming to you? Can you all hear me? I just need few confirmations. All right, thank you so much. I've got the confirmation. Yesterday, due to bad weather, the connectivity issue was there, and we clubbed all the videos, and I have already delivered you the longer video. I think that was around 50 minutes to 1 hour, and that included each and everything regarding the basics of research. First, we did the characteristics, and after that, its objective, and finally the types. Whatever the types were left, I have already included in yesterday's video, and I hope you would have gone through from these all in detail. So now in this lecture, we shall talk about research designs, and these are basically of three types. Although some author says there are number of types of research design, as there are types of research as well. So one by one, we shall move to each and every type of research design, and you have to understand in a very systematic manner. Okay. So as I shall teach you, you have to listen to me very carefully. Each and every line given by me, I shall be taking the suitable examples so that it become easy for you to understand what I wish to teach you. So I'm just going to share my screen, and before sharing, I just request you all, nobody is supposed to on their microphones and video cameras as well. Okay. And in case of any issues from our side, okay, if this is bad weather or connectivity or any kind of issues, you can just skip the lecture, and the rest of the lecture shall be recorded as usual, because I speak continuously, and that shall be added to the previous video, and complete video shall be sent to you. So I hope everything works very fine. So now I'm going to share the screen so that each and everything is visible to you, what we have written in the slides. So this is all what we have to study today. I have assigned a separate day for this specific topic, and this is a research designs. First of all, I shall make clear all your concepts regarding research design. After that, there are only three basic research designs. Okay, even from the point of view of research, or from the point of view of our paper as well. Okay, from the point of view of paper 1 syllabus, paper 2 syllabus, from the point of view of research as well. Basically, the research designs are of three types. Otherwise, as there are number of types of researches, but we have studied in yesterday's lecture. These many research designs can be there. For each type of research, there can be a separate research design. Otherwise, we have to move to these three only. Okay. So what is this? What is this word? Okay, research you have already gone through. I have taught you. This is to know something new. This means to know something new, which is not known to anyone. Okay, which is not known yet to anyone. Designs. This word is having the supreme relativity with this word, and I must tell you how. We have already gone through from the topic of a type of research. Okay, this thing we have already completed by now. Okay, irrespective of the type of research, there should be a plan. There should be a plan or pre-plan of how the research is going to be conducted. Okay, a researcher must have few questions in his mind before starting any kind of research, like we people do. I am a research scholar. What I have done is I have made a complete plan of my research, and but this plan take into consideration, it take into consideration all kinds of questions, like what I am going to do, why I am going to do, what is there in this research, okay, how much time it shall take, okay, what shall be its relevance, who shall use my research, what kind of statistical tools and techniques I shall apply in my research, how shall I present my topic, what shall be my objectives, what shall be objectives of my research, this question, and finally how shall and within what time I shall submit my thesis. This is a complete structure or complete plan. Okay, for conducting any kind of research, a complete plan should be there, and this plan, which involves the answer of all these questions, this is known as research design. Okay, this is a research design. So this is a very simple part. A researcher has to answer all the questions bearing in his mind regarding his research. If the research is unplanned, then it can make the conclusions which are completely irrelevant and illogical. Okay, so these are the research designs. Okay, so basically their purpose is to show their purpose is to show what kind of things are to be done in the process of research. All the research questions are pre-answered. Okay, and a researcher has to make the design of his research. So in this way, he has to pursue. Okay, so whether this is basic research, this is descriptive research, this is exploratory, this is experimental, this can be historical, this can be longitudinal, what we did yesterday. Okay, this can be quantitative, this can be qualitative, or this can be any type of research. Okay, and for all these research there can be separate design. Okay, there can be separate design. When I use the word design, I basically mean to say plan. There can be a specific research plan which contain answer of all the W or H type questions. Okay, so this is all about this. So for each and every research, there can be a separate design. So that's why in some books it has been written like basic research design, then descriptive research design, then exploratory, then experimental, then historical research design, then longitudinal research design. And what we have to understand the core research designs which are useful for, or which are useful or applicable for some very important and core researches. So these things we have to understand. So now I move further. I hope you would have got the complete idea of what we are going to learn in this video lecture. So this is about experimental research design. I have not written anything specifically regarding this. I have already given you the information. Okay, so this can be considered to be a blueprint of whatever you are going to do. That contains all the W or H type answer of these kind of questions. So now I am moving further. I have written some types of research designs which are relevant and which we have to understand, because the other things like basic research design or the historical research design, these are easy to go through. Only there are some research designs which are somewhat complicated, not very much, but I am believing that if you understand, if you listen my video carefully, then it shall be covered to you. So this is about experimental research design. Okay, this is experimental research design. Yesterday we did about causal research. If you remember, we did the topic when we were doing about types of research. Then we studied one was there. This was causal research, and in which I used the term experimental. Experimental. So this kind of research design use some technique. It use some technique. Okay. Only this technique is necessary to go through. Otherwise, what is the research design? You would have already understood by now. So there are some techniques to do this. Now remember what I taught you yesterday. Okay, causal research. There can be two variables. Okay, two variables. Variable A, variable B. Okay, variable A can be height, variable B can be weight. Okay, height and weight. Increment in height is affecting the weight of the person. Okay, so it is producing a cause which is having an effect on the another variable. So this kind of research is known as causal research. I told you yesterday. Okay, so the research design, okay, and the procedure which is used for this specific kind of research is known as experimental research design. So this is all about that. Okay, I'm giving you very simple example of that. There are number of students, okay, in the classroom. There are 30 students, suppose, okay, and 10 are taking the extra coaching or home coaching or anything like tuitions. Okay, and 20, and there are rest of 20 students who are not taking any kind of extra coaching for their studies, and they are learning whatever the teacher is teaching to them in the classroom only. Okay, they learn in the school itself, but they student learn in school as well as in extra coaching centers. Okay, so in this way, we can separate the complete population into different groups. Okay, just try to understand me. So this was a complete population of 30 students in the classroom. Okay, 30 students in the classroom. Then a teacher or a researcher is separating the 10 students who are taking the extra classes and separating the students who are not taking any kind of separate coaching or classes. So they categorize the student into two different items. The first are who are taking the coaching, who are not taking the coaching. Okay, so in this way, in the experimental research design, what the researcher does, he separate the complete population into different groups, and one group is known as experimental group, and the other group is known as control group. So in this way, the students who are taking something extra after the school, they are known as experimental group, and who are not taking anything extra, they are known as control group. Okay, and that researcher is going to research on the point that whether extra coaching causes extra marks for students or not. So this is the research question for the researcher. So in this way, this kind of research shall be known to be the causal research. And in this research, this kind of design shall be taken. So now understand this question. Whether extra coaching causes extra marks for students or not, what researcher shall do? He shall categorize the complete population into different groups. Okay, first group shall be known as the experimental group, on which the experiment is being done by giving them extra coaching, or the other group is left completely blank, to whom the coaching is not being delivered, and he shall make the comparison and he shall come to the conclusion whether the students who are taking the extra coaching gets extra marks or not. Okay, and that means the coaching affects their marks or not. Does it cause increment in the marks or not? So this kind of research design is experimental research design, and this is done for causal kind of research, causal type of research. So in this way, I think this research design, okay, although after this, all this process comes after taking into consideration all the W and H type of questions, like where to conduct, how to conduct, when to conduct. Okay, after answering these kind of question, the researcher has to go through with this process. What he can do, he can make groups of the complete population. One group shall be known to be experimental and the other will be known to be as the control group. So now I am reading this because I hope you would have understood by this by now. A blueprint of the procedure that enables the researcher to maintain control over all the factors that may affect the result of experiment. Okay. So what this does, this actually does, experimental research is often used where there is time priority in causal relationship. Cause precedes effect. And in this case, the magnitude of correlation is great. Why this line is there? Magnitude of correlation is great. That means that extra coaching shall have the complete correlation with increment in marks. Okay, it shall correlate with this. The cause shall have the extreme effect, and that shall go in the same way. This is why it is being said that in experimental kind of research, the magnitude of correlation is always great. Then the classical experimental design specifies an experimental group and a control group. That I have already told you. The researcher, what researcher has to do, this is the procedure of experimental research design. The researcher has to make a group of the complete population. One shall be known as this experimental group and second one shall be known as control group. The independent variable is administered. Independent variable, what shall be the independent variable? That shall be the coaching, the extra coaching, that shall be considered to be the extra coaching. You are not supposed to go through from the very deep knowledge regarding each and every different statistical views, okay, because we have to study only from our exam point of view. Otherwise, this only this topic, experimental research design, is of great importance, and there are more than 100 and thousands of researches which are still being conducted on this specific research design. What you have to understand, you have to understand only what I teach you, because I know what is necessary from any point of view. So I have already given you information regarding that. The researcher has to group the complete population into two different parts. After that, independent variable can be administered to experimental group only, but not to control group. I have given you the example. The independent variable shall be the extra coaching, okay, and that is being given to only the experimental group on which the experiment is to be conducted, and the other are control group to whom the independent variable or the coaching is not assigned. And after that, the results are measured. Okay, so in this way, they are able to find whether the independent variable has any cause and effect relationship with the experimental group or not. So that was the procedure of complete research design. In this way, you have to understand this. So it is used, basically have used more groups. You can make number of groups as per your research question. I have given you only one example. Nowadays, the researches are being conducted where there are number of experimental groups and number of control groups as well. Because the researcher has to choose here, choose the sample from the population randomly. So in this way, there can be number of experimental or the control group. Only this thing you have to understand. Then true experiments must have control. There should be the element of control. There should be the element of randomization, and there should be the element of manipulation. Manipulation means simply assigning the independent variable to different groups. This is called manipulation. So this was, I think, all about the experimental research design. This was the first. And most importantly, when I taught you this, I told you that research design, the basic aim of research design is to provide you a complete blueprint of what you are going to do. You have to keep in mind, or you have to remember all the W or H type of questions, like when to conduct, how to conduct, where to conduct, why to conduct, what is the relevance. So after all these questions, these are the simple processes. Okay, these kind of things are simple processes of how to go further with the different research designs. And these processes have to be learned for only 3 or 4 kind of researches. Otherwise, each and every researches which we have already studied yesterday under the head of types of researches can have different type of research designs. I have already given you example like historical research design, then quantitative research design, then qualitative research design. Only these were difficult to comprehend or understand. So that's why we have written here the process of these as well. So that process starts after answering, after getting answered all these kind of questions. Okay. So that was about experimental research design, which is used for the causal kind of research. So we have already understood this, I think, by now. So this is the second one. This is descriptive research design. Okay, the name suggests this. Now, if you have understood yesterday's lecture completely, then you would be able to understand this. Okay, descriptive research design, I told you, when you try to find the description of the problem from different point of view. Okay, when you have a research question, like company is facing a problem for quite some time, then the complete description of the problem is being made, like by who is responsible for the current situation, what is the current situation, when can we grow, or when this actually happened, where this actually happened to us, how we can solve this. These kind of questions are answered and their complete description is made. Okay, and this specific research design take into consideration only one problem in hand. Okay, from one aspect, this is to make this kind of research design take into consideration only one problem. Okay, because I am why I am saying this characteristics of descriptive research problem, because the next one will be very similar to descriptive, and this is the only difference between these two. So descriptive research design helps provide answer of the questions who, what, when, where, how associated with a particular research problem. Okay, a descriptive study cannot conclusively ascertain answer to why. Okay, so this kind of research design has only one purpose, as I have already told you. Only one purpose. What is the purpose? Only to answer these kind of questions, and its purpose is not to make a conclusion of all the whys. Only description is to be found out for the problem, description from different point of views. Okay, otherwise this particular question is not, particular research design is not relevant for answering the why question. Okay, I'm giving you again a very simple example. In experimental research design, what we studied, we are going to make the relationship of the independent variable to different groups. One was the experimental group and one second was control group. And in this, what we did, we usually did that whether the independent variable have the effect on the experimental group or not. Okay, how much, at how much level this is making the effect. We are not making any kind of a description of all the variables. So this is so this was about experimental research design, and this is a descriptive research design in which we are not concerned with what is affecting to other or why is affecting to other. Okay, we are not concerned about this. We are only concerned about describing our research problem. This is only our purpose in descriptive research design and nothing else. So this is about this. So it usually answers what exists relating to a specific situation, what exists. Our purpose is only to find the description of what exists with respect to variables or conditions in a situation. Okay, why exist, that is not we are concerned about. We are only concerned about describing a research problem from different point of view, so that further research can be taken on this kind of research design. Sometimes students are confused in experimental and research design. The biggest difference is only that in the experimental research design, you try to find the cause one variable is producing and effect it is having on the another variable. But in a descriptive kind of research, we do not do any kind of these things. We only describe all the variables in the manner so that the further research can become easy for us. So this is historical research design, very simple to understand. Okay, if you have understood about historical research, I told you that the research which is conducted on historical sites, on the stones, and where the researchers are interested in knowing or decoding the words written on the stones. Okay, they try to find something new, and after finding something new, they write their books. These kind of researches are historical researches, and the research design used for those researches is known as a historical research design. The other kind of research designs are very easy to understand, only the names suggest, but these two, experimental and descriptive, are not easy to comprehend. That's why my purpose was to make you understand all these. The last one, this is exploratory research design. Okay, so this is the last one which you need to understand, because going through from the notes or any data, you shall not be able to understand. You must need a teacher, because the process of these three researches is not that easy. A researcher has to follow or follow number of tools and techniques, and he has to follow step by step for these researches. That's why there are separate research designs for these kind of research. So this is exploratory research design. This is very similar to descriptive research design. Okay, I told you the difference when I taught you regarding descriptive research design. Its purpose is to explain the problem, to describe the problem. Okay, to find the description of the problem from different point of views. Okay, but in case of this exploratory, it tries to explore the research question more. It tries to explore a research question more. Okay, and it does not take only few items into consideration. Yesterday, I gave you very simple example. This comes after basic research or fundamental research. Like E is equal to MC square. That formula has been given by a propounded scientist. Okay, so they have given this formula, and after giving this formula or after conducting this kind of research, the research was not ended here. Okay, they even nowadays number of researches are being conducting using the same equation, because the researcher are exploring more and more valuable items on the basis of this specific equation. In the same way, next example, Newton has given the three laws of motion. The question we put in the test series as well, that was the basic research. Okay, basic or fundamental research, but that has not ended up yet. Okay, why? Because in a number of research papers, still these equations or that theory is being used for further exploring the another research questions. So the kind of research which means or which try to explore the research question from different point of views, from different thinkings, that kind of research design is known as exploratory research design. So this is a research design. This is conducted about research problem where there are few or no earlier studies to refer to or rely upon to predict an outcome. So if there are only few or no earlier studies, in that kind of situation, this specific research design is used. Okay, this is a very similar to this descriptive research, but descriptive research purpose is only to know what exists regarding the research problem. Okay, but this is a very wide research design. It tries to explore a research question from different point of views. So this is about exploratory research design. Its focus is on gaining insight and familiarity for later investigation or undertaken when research problems are in a preliminary stage of investigation. So in this kind of system, we have to use the exploratory research design. So these were the three very important, because number of times if the question was depicted from the research design, usually this was asked for these kind of research design. The first is experimental, then descriptive, then lastly this is exploratory, and historical is very easy to understand, and the other ones are very easy to understand. If I'm asking the question what is quantitative research design, you can easily answer that. The research design in which all the variables can be taken quantitatively only. So in that kind of research design, we can make its name as quantitative research design. So in this way, you have to comprehend, you have to understand these research designs. Although in the notes, each and everything shall be written from the different types of research point of view. So I hope, I know this is somewhat complicated, but I have tried my best to give you description of all these research design. If we're making the conclusion, then this simply means then experimental research design is used where we have to establish cause and effect relationship between the variables. And in kind of a descriptive research design, we have to describe all the phenomena relating to a specific research problems, and our purpose is not to find the answer of why causes or effect are being undertaken. And lastly, in case of exploratory, when we try to find new insights, okay, new insight, when we try to find or explore the research question from different point of view so that something new can occur. So these were the complete description of the research designs. And now we have already taken note of all these. The next lecture is not for paper 2 only. Okay, I think I have given you its credentials as well. This is important for paper 1 as well. If anyone wishes to join, you have to join. This is going to be very important, because in the second lecture we are going to talk about the sampling and types of sampling. And my experience is that if there are 28 previous paper questions in our website, then at least in 15 to 16 papers there shall be question asked from the sampling part. So this is why this is very important lecture, so you can take it as well. So at 7 past 20 p.m. exactly, I shall be taking the second lecture, and each and everyone is requested to join that as well. So thank you so much for joining me in this lecture. This is Vipal Singh from Gusula Education.